anything that we change. I'm going.
Do it.
I'm going. Okay. I'm only explaining this once with as many bumps as possible. Okay. So there's two different ways of looking at time travel. All right. But all of them involve this. Okay. This is going to be the correct, the perfect, the actual, real, unaltered timeline as it's supposed to be. No alternate reality. This is the reality that is. The alternate comes off of it. This is actual reality, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So in the movie, they talk about Back to the Future version, all the other time travel movies, and that goes like this, okay? So let's say that this is the present day. Here. All right, this is the present. Okay, time travel people go back to this day in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Yep.
Okay. And something happens. They break, let's do time, Back to the Future, okay? They break up the parents, okay? So what that does is, it creates a reality where the parents are not together, and that's why they cease to exist, because what this is now this becomes the real reality, and this completely ceases to ever have existed, including that person. And then this is where you have problems with the space-time continuum, because if this person never existed, then how did they come back and create this alternate reality to begin, this different timeline to begin with? Because if they never existed, then they would not have existed to come back in time to alter the events of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Big confusing, that's why that doesn't work, okay? So now let's get into the MCU thing, okay? So let's get our normal timeline back. All right, this is normal reality. This is everyone is freaking heckin' dead, including my husband. So we're going, this is the present day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's actually use it as an example. It'd be perfect, because that is going to be a canon alternate reality that's branched off the events here, okay?
Yep.
So this is the present. So you got Iron Man and Captain America and Ant-Man all go back to that time to get the Tesseract.
Yes.
So they go back to the moment at the end of Avengers 1.
Mm-hmm. Back to 2012.
Perfect times.
What a great year.
They go back here, okay? Now, all of this has happened up to this point. This has all happened. This is them growing up as the rest of the other Iron Man movies, Captain America, Civil War, and everything, okay? So, in the normal timeline, Loki is supposed to get arrested, is supposed to go to get shawarma, and then they take the Tesseract, they bring it back to Asgard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, that all still happens. But, them going back into the past and accidentally allowing Loki to get a hold of the Space Stone creates that same alternate timeline that we were talking about before, but the difference in the MCU is that this still exists. Oh, this doesn't get erased when that event happens. Now you have two parallel universes. And this one is a reality where Loki escapes. And this one is the normal reality that led to the events of these people existing, giving them the motivation to go back in time and create this timeline. Both of them simultaneously exist.
Because he wasn't part of the main timeline where they went back, he was infected.
So what it is now, well, that's what they're talking about when they say they have alternate timelines, alternate realities, okay? And so if,
Actually, let me move.
Okay, you go ahead and move that. Okay.
Here we go.
And this is something that I've kept arguing with people about, okay? So this is, I'm going to explain a specific event, all right, that what people were having issues understanding, okay? So Bruce goes back in time and talks to the Ancient One, okay? She makes this golden thing that represents, the current timeline, which is what this is, okay? And what she explains to him is that if he goes back in time and takes the time stone, that's going to create that branched off what she calls fragments of reality, creating that parallel universe we were just talking about, okay? And what she's saying is that this now becomes her personal reality, and the job of the Ancient One is to protect her reality. So she does not want to live in a reality that does not have the time stone.
Right.
Okay? So that's why she's like, bro, I'm not going to give it to you, because that's going to doom my reality to be one where there's no time, no time stone. And then, so this is what she's afraid is going to happen, is that she's not able to protect her timeline. But what Bruce proposes, which makes sense, is that if he takes the time stone, this is going to happen, right? But if he goes back in time, as Cap does, and returns the time stone, what ends up happening is, this is however long it takes to get like that gap between returns, Bruce takes. Okay. This is Bruce taking it, this is Cap returning it. So you create an alternate reality, but then it comes right back down and melts back with the normal timeline when Cap returns the stone here.
Right.
So
that's your phrase. Yeah, that's you.
So what it's basically doing is restoring the timeline back to this, like, you know, maybe some things change here, but that reality will still continue on, and but none of that ceasing to exist. Another thing people are talking about is is the Thanos that shows up. Okay, so in our normal reality, we have Thanos as a big purple butthead.
Dick face.
Family friendly.
Dick face McGee 9000.
Stop talking. It's now I have the flag attached to W. So this is this Thanos comes in, he gets his head a little chopped off because he's a big, what do you call him?
Go for the head.
Yep, and but what ends up happening is as they're going and changing it back, the Thanos from the past comes to this reality. So what we're basically seeing is they go back and create an alternate reality where Thanos has detected them taking the stones. All right. Thanos knows. So what that does is this is now an alternate reality where he knows, and he comes to the present day, to this specific moment in time here. Okay. So what they fight at the end of Endgame is not this Thanos. This Thanos is heckin' dead. Okay, this is Thanos 1, and he's dead. So, but this is Thanos 2. This is Thanos alternate reality Thanos. They fight him, and he dies. So that means that there is now an alternate reality where Thanos gets killed ceases to exist at this exact moment. Okay, so this is Thanos 2 dusted.
He gets heckin' Swiffer dusted.
Yes, so that means that in this reality, I kind of want to put this in double dashes here because he time travels,
That's true, yeah.
He sort of teleports his way over here. But this timeline that it coincides with, from this moment that he leaves, is now where Thanos is not around. So this is a reality where none of this happened, and so this universe is basically saved from Infinity War. But all the events of our reality have still happened, because creating this does not get rid of this like it does in the Back to the Future thing.
Right.
So yes, when people are saying now Thanos never killed Loki, Thanos never, met all those things,
yes,
met the Avengers, that's true in this reality. But our reality is not different.
Yeah.
However, as we saw in the new Spider-Man trailer, it's possible that Mysterio, as I've heard, is a big liar, that there's a hole in our universe now, in our reality, that will make it a little bit easier to travel between dimensions. So we may see content from this timeline where none of this happened. So we may see that. And I know for a fact we're going to see the alternate Loki dimension that we talked about earlier. But that's how it works. Okay.
Look at that. Wow.